G'day subscribers, today we're going to talk a lot about Nasco. You're with Jules Knight, our senior shop dog, 14-year-old Ruby, on Jive Talking Garage. We'll be back in a minute. Now, the way I heard it the other day on one of the appreciation groups, a fellow was asking about the windscreen washer kit for an FJ. So I'm just going to find it in the little book here. I'll give you a part number. Oh, one of the fellows said, no, they never had them. So to the never had them, the FJ part number is 7405926. 7405926. So in the little book here, screen clean, windscreen kit, same used in Ferrari, E-Type Jaguar, Pontiac, General Motors products, Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, you name it, they used it. Okay, so I fitted one so far, and Steve Rickett and I did it till 2 o'clock in the morning so I could go to Jindabyne. And that was fine. There needs to be a means to deliver the water or to push the water. And there's several types. There's a universal type, there's an electric type, and there's a vacuum type. So given that the FJ Holden is in the era of the vacuum type, I have 3 types of acceptable pumps, and I will, with each of them, tell you what's good and what's not good. So this is a little bit later, but I still like it, and the reason I like it is this is a pedal type of pump, so it's the bellows are in here and it's a matter of pushing. So this pedal would be on the floor. Now what I like about it is, and I realize that the strips on it are vertical rather than horizontal like the FJs are. However, it's in with the style. And I also like it's got this nice little pedal on it. It looks really good. So this would be on the floor over near the dipper switch. And then when you want to deliver water to squirt onto the windscreen with the screen clean kit, it's just a matter of pushing it down with your foot. Now, I don't like it because you've got to drill a hole through your firewall, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, but I do have a problem with drilling a hole through my brand new floor mat. That's the first thing. Okay, so hollow bolt, that's where the bellows go through. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one, the little donut. Similar situation. Mounted on the floor. So to me, holes, problem. You can see the back of it, and it's a matter of, just putting your foot on that and depressing here. You've got tube running in, tube running out to provide your air in and also air out to push the air. And really, I hate the fact of drilling a hole in the floor mat, but necessity. Now, what I got in my kit, I got a whole heap of things, which also included the the little. Let me just get it for you. Your different types of, your nozzles and whatever. So your squirters. There's a whole heap of other things there, connectors and whatever. Sorry, Ruby's just trying to get over to Dad. Now, the third pump is a very simple little operation, and I quite like this, and this might be my solution. Now, one of the members was reaching out to me the other day, oh, where would you get one of those, Jules? And it's, as it ends up, is just a push button. You're pushing that, see, water in, water out, water in, water out. Well, as in air, I'm saying. So air in, air out, air in, air out. Please excuse me. So I think that is going to be my solution to the problem. Now, the only problem then is, where do you mount it? Now, on the early FJs, they had a cigarette lighter above the glove box. It didn't last. Then they had a cigarette lighter above the driver's side headlight switch. That didn't last. Before, it was generally accepted the best place is over near the choke cable. You can make it in a line with the radio knobs and the choke and whatever, and that was a good spot. Well, that's fine, but it also leads you back to, you know, given the driver is the one who's going to operate it and everything is like within your hand's reach, well then perhaps, in my case, I'm thinking, well, above the headlight switch might be a really good place to actually mount that little pusher. So I'm thinking, probably not a bad idea. So let's talk about the fabled alloy tappet cover. Okay, so if you look in the salesman's reference manual, you will definitely see the alloy tappet cover. There's no argument about that. Now, you will also see that, like for instance on mine last time, I just put my black oil filler cap on there, and this one's powder coated and looks quite nice and does the job and all that sort of stuff. And that's fine. But when you look at the salesman's catalog, which is what I did, it says that you can get, if you have the alloy tappet cover, you can get the oil filler cap, and they've got a part number there, in a zinc finish, because they've got the part number, which is that part number for the black one, but they've got ZP after it, zinc plate. I've never seen one. I've only seen it in the book. So I'm thinking, well, so I bought a heap of parts a couple of weekends ago when Trevor the shop dog and Jasper locked me out of the Commodore. But this was in one of them. So I'm going to clean this out with kerosene and make it all quite presentable and all that sort of stuff. And obviously buy a new seal for underneath like my other one has. And when I get my stuff bright zinced, cadmium plated, whatever the hell you want to call it, I'm going to get this one done too, because then that gets me what is in the salesman's manual with the part number ZP at the end of it for zinc plate. And then that gives me the oil filler cap in zinc plate to go with my nice alloy tappet cover. So I just thought that's something different. Now I've talked about doors recently. So the FX and the very, very early FJs will have a strip coming down the A pillar as a door strip to hold the vertical part of the door rubbers in, whereas the FJ has the push-in one. And I'll just give you a photograph of each one of those, and I've sort of circled them to give you an example. We were talking about it on the last Jive Talking. Okie dokie. So if we go to the approved accessories again, now I showed during the course of the week on Jive Talking on our Facebook website, a Facebook page, across the old Holden that had a windscreen washer kit on there, a screen clean kit, and also a AC oil filter. So oil filter, 7406603. So oil filter. Now there was 3 types: Ryco, the AC, and also Fram. Now I notice this is one of the orange. You'll see. I really like that. I really like the orange color, and I don't know if it's Chev orange that they've picked up the color from, but you can see the color. So it's a lightish orange. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Now I think, even though it's orange, I think it might even, there might be an American color called Flame Red. I think that was what the Dukes of Hazzard car was done in, for it to look orange. But there's also a Chev orange too. So 3 types: Fram, Ryco, and AC. I was going to go with the color and put the color on mine, because last time I had a new old stock AC, and I thought, oh well, I'll do that this time. However, when I bought all these parts, I thought, oh, okay. Well, I'll show you why I thought that. This is a bit crusty and sunburned, but it's an AC oil filter. Now I can disassemble all this, and I can sandblast that. And okay, so the bracket's black. The top is just the polished alloy, but this is a silver hammer-toned finish. It's just painted. I hate to tell you this, but Bunnings have got the exact same thing, the exact right thing. So I'm probably going to disassemble all this, clean it all up. I love the fact that it actually came with the little tubes, because they're worth a lot of money, and also the T-piece down the bottom there. So I thought that was a really good find. Now, the art of restoration is taking something sunburned, dirty, crusty, whatever, and putting it in the sandblaster, cleaning it all up, having already, put it through the degreaser, and you bring it out, you clean it up, you paint it, you reassemble it. It looks brand spanking new, and you put it on the cart, and people think, oh, gee, that's really good. Oh, where'd you buy that from? You think, well, I bought an old crusty one and I made it nice. But anyway, that's the art of restoration. So putting that aside, now let's talk about scratch plates for a minute. Now, I've talked to subscribers about templates. Now, I'm as an apprentice, my masters were pretty hard on me to do things just right. So, for instance, if you're fitting a scratch plate, right? You're fitting a scratch plate, or it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a scratch plate, could be a mini scratch plate. It could be an ornamental jewel. It could be you're drilling the holes for a fan on your dash, or whatever is the case. It doesn't matter. Make a template. So I have that. I've then got a piece of light board, and then I've traced on the whiteboard to make that. Okay, so let's put the scratch plate away. Now that I have this, I don't have to touch that. I don't have to touch the real McCoy. So what I will do is I will cut that hole out, and then I will get, let's just see, I'll get a little hole punch. Right? And I will punch those holes in their exact places. Now be careful with this back one, because there is a sliding clip that goes through the back here, and it's hardened steel. It is, shall we say, a little bit of a bugger to get through, but we'll talk about that another time when I show you how to fit them. But if you make a template, you can actually use the template to put it on the door and to get it on the door so that, or whatever the surface is, and to get it just right, and then put some masking tape on there, and you might have to wiggle it up or wiggle it down, or you might want to check level, or whatever you want to do to get it in the right spot. But if you do this, you're not harming anything. You put, as soon as you put the metal one on, you can scratch the door, something might happen. It might fall and scratch itself on the concrete or whatever. With the template, it doesn't matter. So this is a secret to doing things that are, shall we say, getting it right, or seemingly getting it right the first time. So holes in there, the 3 holes for the door handle, so it slips over the door handle, and then you can jig it around till you're happy with the position of it, and then and only then we will have already punched these. Now you can mark those holes first. So what I do then is, after I've marked the holes, I will put double masking tape around the hole, or around the proposed hole, double layer of masking tape around each and every single one. And then I will use a punch and I will make an indentation. Now, once I've made an indentation, well, then I can use a pilot drill and make an appropriate hole using the pilot drill, and so that I can drill up to the acceptable or the correct width drill, so that the right screw can go in there. Now, I know that Rare Spares have got little kits of screws, and there's a real little tiny one that's perfect for them. They're a countersunk Phillips. They are a Phillips head, but they are countersunk and they go straight in there. Sorry, Ruby's trying to get to Dad. Okay, so that is templates. Start off with a blank. You can even make them out of paper if you have to. However, I prefer board because it's got a bit more body on it. But you go from paper to the actual item itself, and then you're using the template. I've used it even for the spears on the front of my guards. Now, let's talk about the FJ Army Ute. Just one little thing I haven't mentioned in passing. Now, this is specified by the Army to General Motors. Now, they had to supply a little tag. Now, I've gone up to Wayne's and I actually took the measurement. So Tristan has actually had these made. I've got some, Tristan's got some. And what they wanted was, now you'll see, now I've written on there, D, up arrow D. So that's Department of Defense. That's what was specified to General Motors. Now, on the back, they would punch in there or engrave the asset number. So I've just written asset number on there to give you an idea of what it was. Like, for instance, mine might be 4403 because that was the number of my ute. However, that's just what they were. But the Army specified that a tag came with the car. And so you'll just get little, the little tags. They've all been laser, these have been laser cut. Perfect measurement. These are all just blanks. But I wanted to just write on there to give people a bit of an idea. See, they just, both sides. So I just wanted to give subscribers a bit of an idea of what you could get. So that's fine. Now I'll just put those back for the moment. Now, let's talk about the Stokes light. Now, for my FJs, every single FJ I've bought came with the wrong light. My FJ Ute and FJ panel van, my Nasco panel van, both came with Hella lights, and subscribers will have, from Jive Talking Garage, will have actually seen the back of my Ute with the Hella lights on there. In the 80s, that was, when you were fitting blinkers to the back, that was an acceptable fix. But anyway, so I have, what have I done? I have gone through and I have 95% restored this one. Now, piece number 1 is the actual bezel. That's the original chrome. They come up that good. You can just use a little bit of oil and some very, very 0000 steel wool on that, and that will come up al dente. You know, I've got a new lens that's been remanufactured, so you can see that's clear, so the light goes through and shines onto the number plate. There is a gasket. This one's toasty, so I'll make a new one for it. Now the inside, let's see what's the best way to show this way, shall we? Now on here, you've got spacing for 2 globes. Now I've got a little bit of work to do on this one here, on the actual base. Ruby's still trying to get to Dad. And so, you know, globe there, globe there. Now the inside is white. I thought it was silver. I was wrong. It's white. So I got rid of the silver and I painted the white. Now this was rubbish when I got it. I had to do all the restoration on it. Now on the back was black. Like a lot of spare parts are just painted black. So it was black. But they also had, where these 2 holes are, hole there, they were threaded bolts that go through. So they were broken off on this. So I've just drilled them out. So then an appropriate nut and bolt can go through there. And I've also put a grommet there in respect to my dad. If you got a hole, you need a grommet to go through it. So the wires go through the grommet and you don't get a fire. So he gets a grommet. But I also got what I thought is a better light. Let's have a look at this one and you'll see what I'm talking about. So in this instance, nuts and bolts are already there. So that's great. Really good start. You know, nice bezel, nice lens, lovely lens actually. So I'll take that off and then you can see, oh, Jules was right. It is white on the inside and it is black on the outside. So I'll titivate this one all up, and I'll put a grommet through here. I'll clean all this up, and I'll make the appropriate gasket for it, and then get the proper bolts. So I'll get the bolts for this and those bolts for the other one, and I think then we're getting to be in a pretty good place. This one's not bad at all. I'm really liking this one. So I think I'm going to go with this one here after I've restored it like I have the other one, and then I'll just move the other one along. But yeah, look, it's in really good condition, so I'm pretty happy with that. And when I get things like this, I put them in plastic boxes so that things don't happen to them. So that certainly helps to keep things protected as you're going through your restoration. So let's just sum up what we've done today. We've talked about the alloy tappet cover, the black oil filler cap, or the zinc plated, the ZP version of that part number. We've talked about the oil filters and also the AC one that needs to be restored. We've talked about the stop lights. We've talked about making templates, and we've also talked about the apparatus and parts that you need for the pump to make your windscreen washers work, so you can get water to the windscreen. But hope you've enjoyed today. It's been a bit informative. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. But more importantly, enjoy your Holden.